Well, hello everyone. It's Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates, and I thought it was about time to get started with my videos again. I know it's been a while, so bear with me, might be a little rusty, but I couldn't wait to share with you these simple cards. They're actually alternatives from the January paper pumpkin kit called Special Delivery. So here's the insert from the kit to make these cards. I really liked these two here on either end. I thought they were nice. I was planning on making them just as they are. However, this one in the middle did not float my boat. So I decided to use all the elements from that card to create cards of my own. So it started with the element here of these postage stamps that were in the kit, and I decided I'm going to use these and create cards, additional cards with them. So I do have a surprise kind of one, a sneak peek of one that is at the end that I will show you, if hopefully I'll remember. And I'll explain to you why it's only going to be a sneak peek. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to actually start with this one in the middle. So let's move that off to the side. Get out the pieces for it. It starts off with a piece of thick basic white cardstock. I still love to do my top folding cards. So that means you take a sheet of cardstock that's 8.5 by 11. I actually score it right in the middle there at 5.5. Then I cut it at 4.25. That way I get 2 card bases, right away. So again, like I said, then when you fold it, now you have the fold up here at the top. So next comes Balmy Blue. This is 4 by 5.25. I also cut a piece of basic white, and it measures 3 3/4 by 5. Now you can see I've already done the embossing on this, but I really like, I feel like I'm using it all the time. It's called Beautiful Pattern Embossing Folder. And I use it all the time because it is beautiful, but it's also just, a little bit of visual texture that you're going to get with that. And that's what I like. So I feel like whenever you have the simpler cards, that a little bit of that embossing like that really kind of sets it apart. So let me adhere these two together. You can see I'm just using the liquid glue. And then I'm going to adhere this down to the card base. So I don't know if you guys know, but I live in the Pittsburgh area, and we got over a foot of snow this week, and it just doesn't want to stop. There is just constantly, I feel like, snowflakes in the air, and I am done. I am ready for spring already. So let me know in the comments what kind of weather you're having. I would love to know where you're from, and like I said, what kind of weather you're having as well. All right, another item from the kit is this strip, the pink. I stamped on it the stamp set that came with it. Let me just show you here. I figure you can see it better this way. Then this is the what was sent to go and show you exactly what the stamp set looks like. So lots of fun sentiments, a couple little images as well. So I used the Just For You Poppy Parade ink, stamp that. Then I have these two of the, I just call them postage stamp elements. So here we go. Some dimensionals are on the back of all 3 pieces. So let's start with the sentiment strip. And we're going to adhere that pretty much in the middle. I think I did move it up ever so slightly because I didn't want that all to be in the middle. So for some reason, I like having it up just a little bit. All right. So now just wherever you want to place your little elements. So I did put them on an angle to just give some interest there with it all. And let me get all my papers off because you know I love dimensionals. So I am going to angle it about like that. And then here is the smaller one. I'll just make sure and angle it the opposite direction. And so this one I put over top of the strip. This one I'm going to just slide, peek it under there. Now I have dimensionals there, so I should be able to kind of find where a spot is. Yeah, maybe about there, that I can slide that under. So just a couple little different things along the way. My embellishments here. I like these, they're called Moody Palette Glossy Dots. So they come in the 4 colors, the white, the, I'm thinking Pool Party, olive, and the navy. The white ones, perfect for making them, customizing them to be the color that you need. So what I did with this one was grabbed the dark Bubble Bath Stampin' Blend and then colored up my 3 dots. All right, so just give it a little bit of time to dry. So that's why I did those ahead of time. And let's just get those placed. So again, just 3 of them. Generally I like the odd number. But however, you're gonna see that I think I did on one of them. I did just 2. So whatever you like. How's that for an answer? All right. Like I said, it was simple, right? All of your elements were already done for you. So all you had to do was add a little bit additional cardstock and you have a card done. Okay, let's go on now for card number 2. So here we go on that one. I'll move this one off to the side. Here we go. So again, top folding card base. This time it is balmy blue. Top folding, and then I just didn't, oops, excuse me. I just put in a piece of, that's 4 by 5 1/4 of basic white, stamped one of the little postmark stamp images, then in the balmy blue as well. So that's for my insides. Here we go. Let's go with some of these measurements. This is soft sea foam, and it measures 3.5 by 5. And as you can see, I ran it through that embossing folder, the beautiful pattern embossing folder again. So let's go ahead and get this adhered to the card base. Let me find my glue. It's not like my desk is neat, but I try to have everything right in front of me. So, and I'm gonna just make it flush to the left side here of the card base. So we'll adhere that down. Let me move that over a smidge, and there we go. Now I have 2 strips here. One is old olive, the other is just basic white, 1/2 inch wide by 4 1/4 inches long. All right, so I went ahead again and stamped in the old olive ink the sentiment. So let's just go ahead and get this put down. I just kind of, oh, there, that looks good. That's how much of measuring I do. I am very much an eyeballer. So I'll do the same with the sentiment as well. I just wanted to bring out the green from the that postage stamp element from the kit. So that's why I put that little strip down here. So again, here is the element that I'm using from the kit. Let's go ahead and put that down with the dimensionals. Okay. I cannot measure and talk at the same time. All right, there we go. So now this is the sample in which I used the green, the olive glossy dots here, and I only used 2 of them. You definitely can put on 3 if you prefer. I just kind of, I was like, I think I like just the 2. So put them down. I hope you didn't blink because this card is now done. It was that quick. Okay, so card number 2 is done. Let's go on to card number 3. here we go with that one. Now, let me start kind of from the bottom up on this. So I have Soft Seafoam is the card base, again, top folding. And then inside, I just added the white that's 4 by 5 1/4, stamped in Poppy Parade, the flower that's an image that's included in that stamp set from the kit. I have another piece of basic white. This one also measures 4 by 5 1/4. And believe it or not, it is not embossed with that embossing folder. One of the card base or design of the card bases, there's actually 3 of them in the kit, is this really fun pink plaid. Now, I had this measured out that it is 1 1/8 by 5 1/4. Now, you definitely could make this just 1 inch. Either way, or 1 1/4, you could make it by 5 1/4. I just happened to go by 1 1/8 because of the piece that I had left over from another card that I'm going to show you. Half of it was 1 1/8, and that's why I went with that measurement. All right, so I need to just turn this sideways here. I am putting this down. It measures the length of this panel, and it is on the right-hand side. Okay, so let me show you. This piece here is from the kit. I just cut it in half. And cutting it in half is at about the 2 3/4 line. And then it ends up, I turned it on its side and got... Holy cow, I can't pick up my pieces. So here is the piece that I cut halfway from here. Okay. Now, as you can see, I stamped that postmark that is part of the stamp set, and I just needed a piece of it because I knew I was covering up the circle portion of it. So I just wanted those lines. I really liked the lines on it. So that is in Poppy Parade. So let's go ahead and get this adhered down. This is where all of the elements are going to be adhered to. All right. So let's get this down. I really like this pink plaid, so I didn't want to cover up too much of it, but I did, I felt like this was a nice sort of like landing spot for the elements that we're going to add to it here in a moment. Let's get this down to the card base then real quick too. Okay. So here we go on that. And then let me show you the elements that I went with. So we have one here and one, and one here. They both have dimensionals on the back. So let's go ahead. Let me start with the rose, because this is the one that I used to cover up that stamp image here. So let me get those papers off and just put it on so that I have only those squiggle lines coming out from it. I like that effect. I have this one now, the blue one with the blue flowers, and I'm going to go ahead and pop that one up over here. No rhyme or reason. Now, this element that the sentiment is stamped on is also from the kit. So lots of pieces that you can use on these cards and create a lot more cards then with it. So Sending Love from the stamp set in the kit. Poppy Parade is the ink. Now, to make it a little different, not that everything is popped up, this one I'm actually just putting straight down to the card with some glue. I just thought that would be something different on that. Now, just like I did with the first card, I also colored in 3 of these glossy dots, this time using the dark Poppy Parade Stamp and Blend. So let's get these popped down. So I chose a big one and then the two smaller ones. And I am actually using my sample as a guide on where to put these. So, all right, so there we go. There's card number 3. Now I'm gonna bring back these cards to show you and then give you the sneak peek and explain the other card. So here's 1, 2, and all 3 cards. Now, the sneak peek that I'm going to show you is if you become either a team member of mine, there's a great sign up going on right now, sign up special for a new stamping platform that's going to be fun. Or if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So there's the 2 options to just buy it and have it delivered in however many months you decide, or like pay each month as you go. Now with that, I am part of a group and we create a tutorial every month with alternatives from the kit. And you should see these ladies. They are so talented with their samples that you need to see them. And the way to do that, like I said, is either to become a Paper Pumpkin subscriber or a team member. So let me just bring past my card that I created as my sample for that tutorial. But I'm telling you, the other ones are super great too. So, all right. Hey, thank you so much for putting up with me today. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, anything. You can find me on Facebook at Linda Lou Creates. I would love it if you would follow there. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye now.